I spent $10,000 to hopefully get some sewer rat footage, but all I got was a wood duck Casanova with 2 girlfriends.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So I took the old Nicky boy out with the 600mm. I've been debating selling it just to downgrade. Wouldn't mind something even lighter, and for some reason having such expensive gear for squirrel footage is kind of like, what am I doing? Downgrade potential, but like, could you even beat the footage? Immediately, the first thing I saw was like a threesome of wood ducks, and I was like, oh my goodness. I moved focus to that second one, but I ruined it, obviously. But then, like, come on. I was like looking for answers. Like, will this footage tell me that I need the Nikon, or should I move on from it? And the wood duck was like, you got a Nikon over there? Hey man, I don't know, I'd keep that. That's a pretty good one. It's no Fuji magic, of course, but I'm down. This is all in 6K 60 RAW, red luts, filmic look, vintage touch. I don't know, man, I ain't hating it, gotta tell you. This duck even talked to me. He said, keep the Nikon. He said it, I heard it, and I was like, really? Should I? You don't think Fuji magic would be better? I think like Fuji, it's APS-C, I know, but the colors, and you guys like to perform for Fuji, you know that. You're telling me to keep the Nikon? That's silly of you. Just keep the Nikon for once. Stop changing your mind, he was thinking as we punch in 6K. I mean, I don't know, I don't think you can beat this. For the price, you could beat it. It's a pricey one. But like for the weight, that's the end game anyway. Like once you've spent your money, you're full of buyer's remorse. You're out there in the field, and like I have a super light setup that's very sharp. It's a prime. It's like, it's fantastic. There's no reason that you'd want anything different. It's stupid to want to downgrade. I don't know what kind of mind tricks my mind's playing on. We're on the Nikon right now. Stop it. Finger adapter with the Canon EF 24mm. It's a beautiful image. I saw my friend the raccoon. He was just chilling there. He saw me. He was like, what are you doing here? Haven't seen you in a while. Where's the oatmeal? The one advantage Nikon seems to have is not only the 6K image. For wildlife, you would actually want that. I could see a 8K 60 being kind of fun, like you're just zooming on in there and the detail never seems to stop. It's just like, wow, it's like a zoom lens. The only real annoyance using the Nikon is that left-handed mode dial, but if you don't switch too often, that's what I did today, was mostly 6K 60. I didn't touch it. Using the Nikon then is quite pleasurable. Like you're going, it's autofocusing. If you want to tweak, you just move the wheel. It's like, okay, cool. If you want to go back button focus. I'm getting used to Nikon, it's quite good. This happened in a split second. I just looked and oh my God, giant pterodactyl flying. And I was able to like press record and manually focus somewhat, not really getting much of that, but usually you see the peeking around a bird, but like this was such a terrible shot, one of the worst shots we've ever seen, but he was going back to his dragon's lair and we got a bit of it. Some jerky stabe, if we're being real. You're trying to track a plane. It's like, I was trying so hard to keep this smooth looking. There was nothing I could do to not make that plane wiggle. So I was just like, leave my shot, loser, get out of here. Here's the one shot I got of HD 240 frames per second. I climbed up a cliff and these women were very far away from me, and that's just magic right there. Come on now. They have terrible heel striking action. As a runner now, I know you want to strike with the ball of your foot. That's the built-in shock absorbers, and they are looking at knee pain in a couple years, I'll tell you that much. But HD 240, let me tell you something about Nikon. The HD 240 is class leading. I don't think there's any better. It used to be the ZVE1, A7S III, FX3. They were class leading, but now Nikon is sharper. I've seen it happen, and no, it's not raw. I almost lied to you. I really wanted to. 5% crop, it's like, that's damn good. When you look at other systems, you think I don't want an OM1 with the 300mm 24 prime? Even though that lens is 5 grams heavier than my full frame, yeah, let that sink in. It's shorter. Come on, a micro four thirds, that'd be fun. Probably better stabe, not really. But like, You don't understand the cripplings of OM system for video. Just in HD 240, if it's just 4K 60, I did a side-by-side with this, you probably wouldn't notice much of a difference. It would compete. But once you go to HD 240, not only are you 8-bit only, and you see it, you see this over-sharpened image, you're like, what the hell is that? It's manual focus only. It locks the exposure, a huge crop. There was so many things that I was like, what are you doing to me? Deal-breaking flaw. Whereas like Panasonic, 300 frames per second, okay, it's manual focus only, but that's the only cripple. Everything else stays the same, and it's just a no crop whatsoever. So it's like, you could, for wildlife, I'm not mad at Panasonic's 300 frames per second. I just back button focus, manual tweaks all day long. It's for the slow motion street videography where I can't do any of that. It has to be autofocus. You don't even have it. Both of your systems suck. What doesn't suck is hawks as they fly towards a bat thing. It's a bat box, they call it, and I pan to it. I didn't want to, but whatever. He ruined my life. There was a hawk 900 miles away from me. This is the only problem I have with Nikon. It's like panning motions. It's slightly better in sport mode, but the odds of you being able to just change it in time to sports mode are not good. You have to like I button and then a little wheel dial switch. I don't know, man, like a sport mode for handheld is much worse. So like, it's stupid that you have to switch modes to get the best performance. Saw some robins. They were 300 miles away from me, but finally some robins. I've been going out and not seeing anything, like just squirrels. I'm like, where's even the robins? Did they, usually some stay behind in winter, but I haven't seen any all winter. But finally I found the family. There's one family. Here's a good example of the stabe from Nikon, just trying to follow a hawk. Eventually it looks okay, and then we get, don't have a seizure while watching this. You might, I understand it, but it's a little busy of a background. It's not perfect, and the hawk makes up less than 1% of my shot, but it's a good shot. That's a good shot. You can see the red tail, that red-tailed hawk. He's diving, he's swooping, he's looking for food. Mice, caterpillars, snakes, whatever you got. He'll eat it for you. It's a terrible shot, admittedly, but no one else would do better than this. Except with the stabe, Sony would be better. But the only real other option I see is Fuji XS20 with the 500mm prime. It's longer reach, slightly lighter, just because the body is much lighter. You'd be getting 4K 60 instead of 6K 60 raw, and it would crop a bit. Ouch. We'd both do HD 240, but Fuji's wouldn't be as good, and another like 30% crop. 29 if it was a foot. It would be a downgrade, but a much cheaper downgrade and slightly lighter, so in the field I'd be happier. And then potentially I would have to manually focus everything because we know Fuji's not going to do this. Like, at least sometimes I can autofocus with the Nikon, but in general it's better to not do that. But it's nice to have the option. As the woodpecker blesses our heart with a peck first mindset. He looks for bugs and things to kill, but he's nice when he gets home to his family. Decent shot. No, it isn't. It's a terrible shot, but no, I don't deserve anything more than a bridge cam, clearly from the things I'm able to get. I don't plan my shots. I don't make little sequences happen where I'm telling a story. I just see a bird and I point at it and I run. In that order. So we got a robin. He was waiting, guarding a tree nest, probably, and he took off running any second. Watch this. Look, he's about to do it. Any second now. He's about to run. He ran. Look, oh my goodness. But then he hid behind a tree and I lost my shot. But not bad, Nicky boy. Even though we ended on the worst shot of our time, darkened, bird 900 light years away, using you is good. I like it. For in here, when I have those red lights on, not a huge fan. You get all pink and weird. Maybe without those, okay, you're okay, but I don't need the Nikon for in here. That's a reality. Canon C70 has debunked you. Even Sony I often prefer. So like Sony and Canon for in here, no problem. You're my wildlife system. You were meant to be that. I wasn't meant to be using it for this. But I still do debate just switching right into Fuji, even though I think I would fully regret it very hard. But I took this out to see, should I keep the Nikon? Like, you could make arguments either way. Jerky stave, what the hell, just get rid of it. Versus like, you're not gonna get that look, man, full frame prime red luts. Like, forget about it while you're looking for more. I don't know, sometimes you gotta look for the cheaper, funner option. It is funner to have cheaper gear. It's smaller, underdog-like. This ain't really an underdog. It's like class leading. And then once you have that, there's a lot of pressure. But like, I only see squirrels and rabbits occasionally, like one rabbit a year. Whereas the owls, I don't know where they are. Photographers have some kind of code where it's like, never tell photographers where an owl was, because then they'll go there and get glorious footage. You wouldn't want that to happen. A bunch of asshole photographers for sure, feeding them mice, wiggling them shit, killed them themselves with their teeth. You're evil, but not bad footage today. It's available. You're buying it. You're not? You're donating? You're definitely not. Nikon autofocus, huh? Come on. I'll leave. Subscribe for more.